Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellowshow. My name is Kyle. Thursday night hangout. We're going to be going live for the next 30 minutes here. We're just going to go through a lot of the player news. I'll answer questions from the chat room once I get through all the news that I'm going to go through. And just, I don't know, hang out, sit back, relax, get your question typed into the chat there. And if you guys are new to the channel, you should definitely subscribe, hang out with us, and let's get into it. So tonight, the main news: no Cordero Patterson for Thursday Night Football here. I think Mike Davis and Wayne Gallman are going to be kind of in a 50-50 split. I think there's a lot of hesitation on the Falcons offense right now. I don't think I want to be too invested into any of it. I think Kyle Pitts is probably the only guy I'm going to consider as a tight end one option for me this week. Before I got into, I guess I was typing up all the news here, there was some Seattle Seahawks news real quick. DK Metcalf didn't practice yesterday. He got a full session in today. But Gerald Everett, he missed practice 2 days in a row, Wednesday and Thursday, so he's looking doubtful. We'll see what happens with Gerald Everett. But who knows? Maybe Russell Wilson's without his top tight end option. Elijah Mitchell remains limited. I guess not limited. He didn't even practice today, which is kind of concerning. So I'm worried about the rib and the finger injury. It sounds like he's going to try and play. That was the optimism early in the week. But we'll see with Elijah Mitchell. I think if you're holding out hope for him, I can't remember if it's a noon game or what time do they play. I can't remember, but hopefully tomorrow we'll see what happens. I'm optimistic Elijah Mitchell can play through this injury. Let me look and see here. Latavius Murray was limited today. That's probably, if Murray plays, I don't love him. He's probably going to be in a timeshare with Devonta Freeman, so it's going to be a 50-50 split. It's a good matchup against the Bears, but I'm probably not looking at the Ravens running backs. Allen Robinson not practicing today. A bit of an eyebrow raise here. Usually he doesn't practice on Wednesdays, but for a second day on Thursday here, he's going to need to practice limited tomorrow for me to trust him. So we'll see on Allen Robinson. I think if Darnell Mooney's hanging around your waiver wire, you should probably go check out and see if Darnell Mooney is out there. Jeremy Mcnichols, this one's big. So no Mcnichols. He's got a concussion injury. He hasn't practiced Wednesday or Thursday. So the Titans, man, they've kind of been a three running back set the last few weeks without Derrick Henry. That's Adrian Peterson, Deonta Foreman, and Jeremy Mcnichols. If you remove Mcnichols from that, all of a sudden I'm more interested in Adrian Peterson as well as Deonta Foreman. It's a really good matchup against the Houston Texans. So if Mcnichols can't go, I think Deonta Foreman, and I don't know, I picked him up in a league or two today. I don't know how often, I guess how available Deonta Foreman is, but if Mcnichols doesn't play, Adrian Peterson and Deonta Foreman both probably need to be running back two flex plays this week. Chase Claypool, good news on him. He's limited today. He practiced yesterday with limited. Today he was limited, so no setbacks. It looks like Chase Claypool's on track to play. Good news for Tua Tagovailoa, practicing in full today, so he's on track against a really good matchup in the Jets. Rob Gronkowski, interesting. He was a full participant today, so it looks like he's going to be playing this week. There was some weird Antonio Brown news today with the COVID vaccine card and whatever, but it looks like Gronk's going to be back, so that means Evans, Godwin, and Gronk all could be in our fantasy lineups. Backup running back Jamal Williams going to probably play for Detroit. He looks like he's good to go. He had a funny press conference today where he was wearing his helmet for it, so he's ready to go. He's chomping at the bit to get in there. So I'm excited about that. Let me see here. Saquon Barkley limited today. It looks like he's going to play today. And then Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney, both these guys, both Giants receivers, were able to heal up over the bye week, and they look good to go. I like Kadarius Toney and Kenny Golladay both as wide receiver 3 flex plays this week. But Sterling Shepard not practicing today. He's probably a week away. Maybe next week, week 12, we see Sterling Shepard ready to roll. So that's why I like Golladay and Kadarius Toney. No Taysom Hill quite yet for the Saints here. It looks like he might not play. Trevor Siemian's got a decent option in quarterback 2 superflex leagues. But bigger in news coming out of New Orleans here. Alvin Kamara, he got a limited session in yesterday, downgraded here to a do not practice on Thursday. So he's got the MCL sprain with the knee. It does say ankle there. I think it's the MCL ankle knee thing going on here. So we'll see. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, it's not looking good. If he's limited tomorrow, he's probably got a good chance to play. So for now, I would trend towards him not playing this weekend. Thursday, again, being downgraded, that's not a good sign after your first day back from an injury like this. So we'll see on Alvin Kamara. I think Mark Ingram probably going to be the starter this week. The starting tight end for the Washington football team is up for grabs. They still haven't activated Logan Thomas with that hamstring injury, so he's been idle for like the last 5 or 6 weeks. And then the other injury is Ricky Seals-Jones with a hip injury, so it looks like they're down their top 2 tight ends. We'll see what they do there. And then we got some Baltimore Ravens news. Marquis Brown He has not been practicing with a thigh injury. I'm not sure if it's a bruise or whatever. There's not a lot of info on this thigh bruise. I don't even know if it's a bruise. It's a thigh that they've been labeling it. So we don't really have a lot of information. Tomorrow will be a big day for Marquis to see if he can play. And then Lamar Jackson, not practicing with a non-COVID-related illness. We'll see if he can go tomorrow. Here we go. Nick Chubb and Demetric Felton are trending in the right direction. We'll see if they can play. I would lean towards them being probable for the week here. Still no Jared Goff here as he's sidelined with an oblique injury. It looks like Tim Boyle is set to get the start this week. Kyler Murray, good news here. He participated in the open portion of the practice today, and he's officially limited. Hopefully tomorrow he can stack another limited day here and be on track to play. They have a bye week next week, so it wouldn't surprise me if they held them out. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins, that's the next blurb here, DeAndre Hopkins is not practicing either, so we'll see. I think if you have Kyler Murray, just make sure you have a good backup just in case. Dallas Goddard was able to clear concussion stuff, and he's able to practice today, so good news for him. He could probably get Goddard in your lineups this week. James Robinson was able to practice. He didn't practice yesterday, so this is a good trend for him. He has a heel injury from last week. This knee injury was kind of the new injury, so it's good to see him back on the practice field. And then the last one here is Derrick Henry reporting that he could return early January, which with 18 weeks in the fantasy season now, Week 18, you shouldn't be playing your fantasy championships, but Week 17, they're saying there's a chance for Derrick Henry to play. We'll see. I think just for fantasy's sake, I think I'm going to trend towards not expecting Derrick Henry to play for our fantasy teams this year. So we'll see. They're probably trying to get him ready for the playoffs. And, man, a team that could use a number 1 seed, like the Tennessee Titans, that's like the definition of them. If they can get an extra week, a bye week for Derrick Henry to get ready, I think that'd be great. What's going on, Fabian? Start 2, Drake, Johnson, Pollard. So who's Johnson? Is that David John? Like, who's the Johnson? I can't think. Johnson. That's got to be Dearness or David. One of the two Johnsons. Or Ty Johnson, maybe? I need to know who the Johnson is, my man. I do like Kenyon Drake. I do like Pollard, but I need to know who that Johnson is. Do I drop Schultz for Ertz or keep? I'll roll with Ertz. Schultz, it's messy there in Dallas. He seems kind of hard to trust. He's been kind of on the downtrend the last couple of weeks. You add Michael Gallup in there now. They're going to be more 3 wide receiver sets, so I think Schultz is going to be more hard to trust. I kind of like Zach Ertz as long as DeAndre Hopkins is nursing a hamstring injury, so I think Ertz is the easy answer. Harris, my man, thanks for hanging out tonight. Is this a good lineup? Tua, A.J. Dillon, Gaskin's going to crush the Jets this week. I feel really good about Myles Gaskin. Waddle, so wow, heavy Dolphins lineup. All right, exciting. 2 rookie receivers, Waddle, Elijah Moore, Adams, Gesicki, and oh, wow. So Tua, Gaskin, Waddle, Gesicki, Dolphins. So 5 Dolphins. I'm excited about it. I think that's a good lineup. Elijah Moore is probably the one guy that intrigues me here with Joe Flacco. Who knows how his connection is going to be with him, but Elijah Moore has been playing well. So I think it's a fun lineup. I think it's a good, solid lineup, especially taking advantage of the Jets' defense. What's going on, the Hemi? Rodgers, Tua, or Carr? So I'm looking at Rodgers and Tua as being the best options for me. Rodgers has a toe injury thing going on right now. It's not something that we should be concerned about, I believe. He said he was going to play, so I'm expecting him to play. So to me, it's between Rodgers and Tua. I think at this point, Tua probably has the highest ceiling. I think he excites me the most, but Rodgers is the safest. So if you can afford the risk, I would go Tua. But if you just want to lock in, 2 touchdowns, I'll go with Rodgers. But I think Tua right now, when Tua plays, man, he's been a top 10, top 12 quarterback. So I would rank them as Tua, Rodgers, Carr. And then Fabian says David Johnson. If that's the case, I'm probably going to go with Kenyon Drake and Tony Pollard. David Johnson has been nice. It is Tyrod Taylor. It is the Titans. So it's interesting, but I don't know if I want to invest in the Texans. So I'll say Pollard, who looked good last week, and then Kenyon Drake's been more involved in the passing game. DJ Goss, thanks for hanging out. How do you feel about Stevenson tonight with Harris back? Or should I go with Mike Davis, who isn't consistent? Which should I start? I'll take Ramondre. I'll go Ramondre over Mike Davis. I know, so Harris is back. But who knows? Like this is kind of the question of the night is what's the workload? What's the split going to be? I think as good as Ramondre looked last week, they're going to probably trust him to do some things. Did we see is Brandon Bolden playing tonight? I'm not sure. But either way, The Patriots are favored to win on the road. They should be running the ball over 30 times tonight. So if that's 20 carries for Harris and 10 for Ramondre, who Ramondre actually catches a few passes too, I think Ramondre is in for a safe night for a floor of like 8 to 10 points. And that upside is there if he gets the touchdown. So I like Ramondre more than Mike Davis and Travis Kelce. So you're flexing to a tight end there. I like it. I like that lineup, Harris. Continue to fill out the questions there. I'm rolling through these. I just want to see if any more news came through on the top line here. Again, we're going to hang out for another maybe 20 minutes or so. Interesting. A new blurb just kind of came through. Alex Collins was downgraded to do not practice. So he's the latest Seahawks blurb here. So if he's not practicing today, no Chris Carson. I mean, you're looking at Rashad Penny, DJ Dallas, Travis Homer. I'm not sure I feel great about any of those, but if you need running backs, maybe Travis Homer and DJ Dallas. But no one is behind Davis, so he would make it. Well, Wayne Gallman is going to be there. Last week, they actually used Wayne Gallman more than Mike Davis, so I think it's going to be some kind of 50-50 split between the two. But so it's kind of the same thing. Like I think Stevenson is the 1B to Harris's 1A, and then with Davis, he's going to be in some kind of split with Wayne Gallman. I'm not sure if he's going to be the main passing back at all, but I just off of body of work and just the skills of that player, I think Stevenson's the better player right now, and I'd probably roll with him. Mike Davis is interesting, but I don't feel great about it. I actually feel that Stevenson's probably got the more upside there. So it's close. If you want to roll with Mike Davis, he does seem safer, but I like the way Stevenson's been running the ball lately. And Seti ruled out. Interesting. So Brandon Bolden is active tonight. So the Patriots are going to use 3 running backs tonight. You're going to see Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, and Brandon Bolden all get some work. So I guess if you want to play the odds, you could potentially. I'm fine with Mike Davis. I guess I'll go with Mike Davis there. Mark Ingram or Adrian Peterson non-PPR. This one will be easy for me. If Alvin Kamara does not play, I'm playing Mark Ingram. I think Adrian Peterson is behind Deonta Foreman in terms of snaps, so I'm going to go with Mark Ingram. It sounds like Elijah Mitchell's going to play, and that was kind of the word earlier in the week here. Let me kind of read what I have here. It says, we'll see if Coach Shanahan is optimistic tomorrow about Mitchell playing. Again, I think it was Tuesday I read that they think he's going to play, so we're probably not going to know until tomorrow. Gibson or Thielen? So I actually think it's a good matchup for Antonio Gibson this week, especially one he last week coming off the bye. He really needed that bye, I think, to get kind of fresh. He is playing the Panthers, which is one of the better teams, I guess, defensively right now. But they're actually the way to beat the Panthers is to actually run the football on them. They're actually a pretty good secondary. They limit a lot of quarterback and receiver points. So it could be a Gibson game here. Thielen, a tough matchup against Green Bay's defense right now. I don't love it. Green Bay ranks as one of the best teams against the wide receivers. So for me, I'm probably going to roll with the volume here. If this is PPR, I still like Gibson because he's going to get a handful of catches too. So I'm probably going to say the safe play is Gibson. If you're feeling risky, go with Thielen. But Gibson this week, man, like it feels like they're going to kind of recommit to him at the moment right now. So I think Gibson is a top 20 running back. Adam Thielen, like we still like Adam Thielen, but it feels hard to trust. It feels like he could be a top 20 receiver. I'm just a little bit nervous there. I think I'd rather go with Gibson. I'm going to assume no Clyde Edwards-Helaire this week. Let me look at those practice reports real quick for Clyde. I don't see the point in them whipping out Clyde Edwards-Helaire this week. I think it would be, for one, just give him the extra week because they have the bye next week. So it does make sense to me for them to not use Clyde. Let me just double check on these reports. So Clyde Edwards, I guess he's not even on the report. I'm going to assume that Clyde Edwards does not play. Ty Johnson, Golladay, or Agnew. I don't trust Agnew. If you want the ceiling play, it's Golladay. If you want the safe 8 to 10 points, it's Ty Johnson. I'm probably going to roll with Golladay here. I like Golladay. No Sterling Shepard. Fun matchup against Tampa Bay. Waddle or Darrell. If no Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think you got to use Darrell Williams. He's too good in the passing game right now. I think Darrell over Waddle, but that's only if no Clyde, and I'm assuming no Clyde. What do you think I can get? Who do you think I can get in this trade if I give away Christian Kirk and Tyler Lockett? Interesting. So Tyler Lockett and Christian Kirk, those guys are both, kind of wide receiver 3 flexes right now. You might be able to cash in into a wide receiver 2. So a guy, you'd probably be able to get a guy like Mike Williams, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, maybe even Jalen Waddle. That's kind of on the low end here. If you shoot a little bit higher, guys like Michael Pittman Jr., Marquis Brown, DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, maybe even Keenan Allen. So you're looking at basically a wide receiver 2, because again, Kirk and Lockett are kind of fringe wide receiver 3s right now. I think you could upgrade that to someone, and it depends on your scoring settings, but look somewhere in that 10 to 20 range for wide receivers, somewhere in that sweet spot. I think you'd be able to find someone. Mike Williams might be a good buy low right now. Terry McLaurin, Deontay, Jalen Waddle, those are kind of guys on the lower end that I like quite a bit. Maybe even go see what AJ Brown owner thinks. AJ Brown could be a fun sleeper there for you. But keep the questions coming. We'll hang out another 14 minutes or so. I'm just trying to look and see if any new news and anything came in tonight. But I'm excited to see Mac Jones tonight. I don't know about you guys, but very excited about Mac Jones. And what's weird is, so the Falcons, man, every time we count them out, they do something that's like, oh, okay, they had a good game. And then every time we get excited about them, they just crap the bed. So I'm wondering if tonight everyone's against the Falcons. I wonder if the Falcons show us a little fight and actually have a pretty decent game. So, but anyways, keep your questions coming here. I'm going to pull up some more things to look at. Also at running back. So kind of the same thing. You're probably looking at a low-end running back 2 here. Let me just pull up my numbers. A guy like Leonard Fournette, maybe James Robinson, maybe Antonio Gibson could be a guy. Damian Harris is interesting. Looking at a guy like Josh Jacobs. Maybe go see what the Aaron Jones owner is thinking. If you have the patience for Aaron Jones, he's going to be back probably week 14. I think Aaron Jones could be a guy worth holding on to. So for running back, you're looking at a guy that can be a running back 2 for you. I hope some of those names helped. Maybe James Conner, you can try and see if the James Conner owner wants to sell high. I think that's a good idea. Again, Gibson, James Robinson, Fournette, Gaskin even. Maybe even Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's going to be back maybe in a week or 2, so that could be fun. I do like Josh Jacobs quite a bit as well. So look into some of those names. Maybe even Elijah Mitchell, because the 49ers, it's clear they want to run the ball with Elijah Mitchell. So he's been pretty good this season so far. David Montgomery, maybe this could be your last chance to buy David Montgomery. I'm just thinking of guys that are potential buy lows right now, and that excites me. Maybe even I still don't know if I like Miles Sanders, because during the when he was healthy, his PPR numbers were not exciting. He only in 7 total games he only hit over 10 points twice. That was a 10.1 against Carolina and a 15.3 against the Falcons. Everything else was under 10 points. But if you could potentially flip someone for Miles Sanders, maybe he's ready and juiced and he's good to go for a good second half finish. He didn't score a touchdown at all early in 2021, so maybe the touchdowns are coming. Maybe some good numbers for Sanders. But some buy low guys. I made a list this morning on Twitter about potential running back handcuffs to stash. So the guys that I'm looking at here, and it's kind of alphabetical from team perspective. So Arizona's first, but Eno Benjamin's probably worth a hold. Chuba Hubbard on Carolina. I think Khalil Herbert back up to David Montgomery. Samaje Perine backing up Joe Mixon. Dearness Johnson. I actually think Dearness Johnson's an interesting guy to flex this weekend with Nick Chubb coming back from COVID. Carlos Hyde backup for James Robinson. Larry Roundtree appears to be the backup for Austin Eckler. Sony Michel back up to Darrell Henderson, who if Darrell Henderson goes down, I think Sony Michel's in a really good spot. Salvin Ahmed behind Myles Gaskin. Of course, Alexander Madison behind Dalvin Cook. Mark Ingram made the list behind AK-41. Devontae Booker behind Saquon Barkley. Ty Johnson behind Michael Carter. I did put Alex Collins on the list, but I don't know if that feels good anymore. And then Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson's the backup for Elijah Mitchell. If you have Elijah Mitchell, I think Jeff Wilson's worth stashing. And then Deonta Foreman here, who actually think is probably the best running back left on the Texans. Who do you think I'd get in the trade if I traded away Noah Fant? So Noah Fant. So if you're looking for, I'm assuming you don't want another tight end in return. I mean, in a PPR league, Noah Fant is tight end number 9. In a half PPR league, Noah Fant is tight end number 9, and then a standard league, Noah Fant, tight end number 11. So you're looking at a guy who, in a standard league, he gets 6 to 7 points based on yards per game. If I'm looking at a wide receiver, that is kind of equal to that. You're looking at a fringe wide receiver 3 guy, so you're probably talking Hunter Renfrow, Darnell Mooney. Maybe go see what the T. Higgins owner is doing. If he wants to get rid of Higgins or Chase Claypool, buy low on some of these fringe wide receiver 3s. And then if you're trading Noah Fant away for a running back, I mean, you're talking like maybe Zach Moss, Myles Gaskin. Mark Ingram's pretty fun right now. Go talk to maybe go see what the Clyde Edwards-Helaire owner is doing. You're looking at, so if you're trading Noah Fant, you're getting potentially a guy that you would flex. So he's not like a guaranteed starter. He's going to be a fringe wide receiver 3 or a fringe running back 2. Packers are taking this one this week, yes. Not concerned. Packers are going to roll. They're not going to roll, but they should be able to handle the Vikings. The Vikings don't have a good pass rush this year. I see A.J. Dillon having a monster game. Just a ton of touches for A.J. Dillon. And then Rodgers, I think, he's going to be able to do what he wants with Devontae and MVS. Chiefs or Cowboys? I'm going with the Cowboys. I'm going to go with Dallas. That offense right now. And again, I know a lot of people are like, oh, Mahomes is back and everything, but it's just one game, and it was the Raiders. I need to see it again before I say he's back. An exciting defense like the Cowboys right now. If Mahomes goes up and lights them up for 3 or 4 touchdowns, I will then say Mahomes is back. But for now, I'm going to roll with Dak. That offense right now, man, it's with Gallup back. You got CeeDee Lamb, Cooper, Schultz, the running backs. That's a tough monster right now. So I think Dallas will outlast the Chiefs. So take Dallas money line. I don't know what the order of that is, but I like Dallas this week on the road here. But we got a few more minutes here. If you guys got more questions, fire them up. I think for this weekend, I'm probably going to take Friday night off, but Saturday night I will go live. We'll do a live stream, in between the 6:30, 7 o'clock Central range. So if you guys want to be available for that, I will have more answers and questions for you guys based on the news. So Saturday we'll go live 6:30, 7 o'clock Central time. I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight too. I have been streaming these to Twitter, so if anyone's on Twitter, you should definitely come subscribe on YouTube so you can be notified when we go live. But I don't know, man. I'm just excited for this week. I'm going to pull up the weekend slate of games. It's a heavy noon slate this week. I think Indianapolis and Buffalo is going to be a fun game. Justin, who do you got? Do you got the Colts taking out Buffalo, or is Buffalo going to cover there at home? Baltimore, Chicago. I'm not going to sleep on. I think Chicago coming out of the bye, they have a lot to prove. Basically, every team in the NFC besides the Lions has a chance at making the playoffs still. So Chicago coming off a bye, the health of Lamar Jackson and Marquis Brown are kind of up in the air right now. So I'm interested to see what Chicago looks like. Tennessee should roll. Cleveland should be able to beat Detroit, but who knows? Like Detroit could, play pretty gutsy here coming off that tie. Green Bay at Minnesota. So historically, especially last year, Dalvin Cook roasted Green Bay. He just ran all over Green Bay. I don't know if I see that happening this year. I do like Dalvin Cook to score a touchdown, but I don't know. Green Bay's defense right now is playing pretty locked down. I think they're going to stifle Kirk Cousins and company. I'm going to take the Dolphins to beat the Jets. Saints and Philly, man. Just all the injuries to Philadelphia to New Orleans right now. I'm probably leaning towards Philly. Washington, Carolina. I'm excited for Cam Newton to make his return at home against Carolina, but something feels good about Washington. They got some steam coming off that Tampa Bay win, but both teams really riding a high on their season right now. So I think Carolina-Washington could be a fun game. San Francisco should take care of Jacksonville. I think Cincinnati's going to take care of the Raiders, but who knows? I think that 3:05 game here, Cincy and Las Vegas, I'm excited for that. That one could be a shootout. And then the game of the week is Dallas, Kansas City. That one's going to be a lot of fun. Sanders or Zach Moss rest of season? I'm going to say Zach Moss just because, I mean, what we've seen from Miles Sanders earlier in the year wasn't great. Like, I don't know what's going to change here. Now you add in Jordan Howard to the mix. Boston Scott's kind of revved up here. That you got 4 potential running backs in Philly. That just makes me a little bit nervous. And then I said in Miles Sanders' 7 games where he's played this year, only 2 of those games are over 10 PPR points. Whereas Zach Moss, he's played in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Zach Moss has played in 8 total games, and he's had 5 games over double digits, 17.4, 18.1, a couple 12s, and an 11.8. So just based on these stats, I like the Buffalo offense better than Philly. So I think for me, it's easy. I'm going to go with Zach Moss rest of season. Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert. If that's for just this week, I'm probably going to go with Joe Burrow. The Raiders matchup's really good. I'm excited about this Cincinnati Raiders matchup. It's going to be on the fast track. I think both defenses are kind of overrated at this point. I'm excited for the Cincinnati offense. It should be fun. And they're coming off a bye too. So teams coming off a bye, I get a little excited about just because they've had a week to reflect and look on things and see what they can do better. I'm expecting a big T. Higgins week. I need a big T. Higgins week this week. But Justin Herbert going up against the Steelers. It's a tougher task. It is at home. But I think Joe Burrow against the Raiders, that coming off a bye, it feels really good for Joe Burrow. So that's probably where I'm going to lean. But anyways, if you guys I got 2 more minutes here for you guys. Let me know what you guys think for questions. Otherwise, save them for Saturday. I hope you guys enjoy the game. As far as tonight's game going, I just want to see a healthy game for everybody. I want to see Mac Jones make some fun throws. I want to see some trickery. I really want to see Atlanta put up a fight. I don't want this to be. It's not going to be anything like we saw last week against Dallas. I want Atlanta. I want Kyle Pitts to be good. I want them to both move the ball and have a fun night tonight. So, but anyways, if you guys do have questions, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, wherever you need, or just comment on this video here. And thank you guys again so much for your time. Subscribe if you're new. We'll see you guys on Saturday evening. Enjoy the game. Peace.